photograph that you're looking at open here in Photoshop is a completely, I'll use the term developed photograph. It was taken by a Pentax K-01. It was originally a raw file. That raw file was then processed through several steps. A lot of people use the term photoshopping to describe everything that was done to this picture. But all the information was already there. All that we did was pull it out. So take a good look at the finished photo, and then I'm going to click over here and I'm going to show you what the raw photo straight out of the camera looked like. Okay, as you can see, that photo, for lack of a better term, is washed out and dull. But again, all the information that you need to make this a beautiful picture is already in there. Um, a raw file means exactly what it's called, raw. It's all of the information. So I want to talk a little bit about things that are done to turn this picture from this to this. And we're not talking about dramatic photoshopping, changing the shapes of things, introducing special effects and things like that. So the first thing that I always do to every photo that I open is I go to Image, I choose Adjustments, and I go to Levels. Very important. So whenever you open Levels, you're looking at this little box right here that I'm circling. This is called your histogram. And basically, it describes the distribution of light and dark in your picture. On the left-hand side of the histogram is your darks. On the right side of the histogram is light, and in the middle is your midtones. We can see that there's a gap here between the edge of the histogram and where the picture's information starts on the light side. That means that the picture is a little too dark. So as we slide this over to where it belongs, our picture will get lighter. Same thing on the dark side. We can boost our blacks a little bit by dragging it over just a little bit to where the histogram starts. And then if we think, it's a little too dark in here around these dark areas of the pickles, if we want to expose some of that information, we can slide the midtone slider just a bit, and you'll begin to see that information come into view. See, it was always there. It was just covered up. The camera thought it knew what we wanted to see. We know better than the camera. So we're just going to boost that out till it's nice and bright. Now, you always have a little preview square here. So if you unclick the check mark here for preview, you'll see what we started with. Click preview, much better image. In fact, this is a usable image. But just taking care of your level adjustment is often what is needed to make a normal photo look presentable and ready to print. So let's click OK. Now the next thing that I do to every photo that not everybody has is I apply totally rad actions from a company called RadLabs. They're found under filters if you have them installed. Both of the actions that I'm using here are available through RadLabs free trials. So you can go on their website and download them for free, and I really encourage you to do so. The first one over here in the RadLab program is called Snap, and the second one is Boutwell's Magic Glasses. Now they have these great little sliders here where you can adjust the level of the effect. I like to keep both of them in the mid-50s. So let's click off of them and show you what they do. If you'll keep an eye on our preview picture, when I click Snap, it does a little bit of a color boost, boosts saturation. And you can adjust the saturation using the slider over here if you'd like to. I pretty much never touch it, but you might decide to. Then when we click on Boutwell's Magic Glasses, it adds a little bit of contrast and a little bit of pop. I keep it at about 50%. Let's click the Finish button. It'll apply the recipe, which takes just a minute. What you have to understand is it is doing many Photoshop steps in the background for you so you don't have to do them. All right, there we go. So this is what I would consider a processed image, an image that I'd be ready to print if I didn't want to do anything else special to it. Let's click on our finished product and see how close we are. We're pretty close. Obviously this has a little bit more processing to it, but this is a good image too. Alright, that's where we're going to end this tutorial today. We'll look forward to part 2 where we do some more complicated things to this image to get it looking a little cooler.